Good morning, everyone. We are live from the United States. My name is Suzanne Meriden. I'm with the Syrian American Council. And of course, this is almost now a weekly call that we are doing with all of you to bring you the latest of what is happening in Eastern Ghouta. And I know many people are working from many sides of the world in the United States, in Europe, in Canada, in Middle Eastern countries, inside Syria to bring you news, to connect you directly to people inside Ghouta. And so this is why this is so important for us to hold on a regular basis to make sure that you are hearing directly from the people suffering inside Ghouta. And unfortunately, things are getting worse and not better. Each week we speak, there are more developments moving in the wrong direction, even though it appears politically there are positive conversations. And what I mean by that is that we have just recently seen the new UN resolution that passed in the United Nations calling for a 30-day ceasefire, meaning for 30 days people will have a chance to live again and breathe again. And when I say people, I mean the civilians living in Eastern Ghouta. And the idea is to give them a chance to come out from the grounds where they are hiding, try to find refuge somewhere, try to salvage parts of their lives, try to see who in their family is still alive and who has died and passed on, and regain some form of life and get ready for the next round of attacks from the Russian and the Syrian regime. And now we're seeing even the Iranian regime. We've known, of course, the Iranian regime is involved. However, we have some proof in the last couple of days of why and how they are involved. I will tell you this, we were going on to this call today, hoping to speak to 3 people directly from inside Ghouta. Those 3 people are a director of hospitals, a doctor from a hospital in Eastern Ghouta, and we know hospitals have been targeted and destroyed so that they are not able to rescue or save any additional lives. We were going to speak to a media activist from inside Ghouta as well, Mr. Nour Adam, and we were going to speak to Belal Kharpotly, who you now know because he's been speaking to us on a regular basis. However, due to circumstances at this moment, in these seconds, we are not able to connect with them for several reasons. Obviously, because of the siege, because of the situation, because of the bombardment, they are either not able to join due to internet connectivity. The doctor might be trying to save lives. And we know for a fact that Bilal's home has been hit by a bomb. And so even though he has been hit and he has to worry about rescuing himself and his family, he was still actually in connection with us, and he was still planning on coming on and talking to us just so he can share with us what is going on today, here and now. And unfortunately, we don't know where he is at this second. We hope that he is safe. We hope that his family is safe, and we hope that we do get to talk to him just so he can get his voice out to the rest of the world, since unfortunately the international community is not responding. Meetings at the United Nations are still happening, meetings at parliamentary levels in all international communities and countries are happening, yet no action is being taken. And that is a very unfortunate matter for our humanity. However, we will not give up. We will continue our conversations with people from inside Syria so they can educate us and direct us and tell us what we can do for them. And right now, the best thing we can do is to get their voice out to the people. So we hope they join us. Now, going back to this resolution that we talked about, although it passed, that doesn't necessarily mean anything. And we have seen this because although it passed, the bombardment continued and actually even intensified after the conversation and the passing of the resolution. Even last night, at around 1 a.m., I believe, I'm sorry, scratch the time, but at nighttime during our US time, a chlorine attack took place in Douma. More bombardment has taken place and more lives have been lost. And so unfortunately, even passing of resolutions at the high levels of the United Nations do not mean anything at this time. Now, just about 30 minutes ago, Russia did put out a statement that it ordered daily humanitarian truce from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. local time in Eastern Ghouta. Again, does that really mean it's going to happen? How Russia is going to comply to its own order, we do not know, and it's quite unfortunate that lives cannot be spared. We also know that Russia is doing this bombardment in partnership with the Russian regime, claiming they are hitting terrorists and terrorist factions. However, the pictures tell a different story. The pictures we're seeing are pictures of children and mothers and fathers and regular civilians living and trying to live in Ghouta. And we know from past history and truths and pictures and conversations that the only reason these civilians are being hit is because they chose 7 years ago to come out and ask for freedom and ask for their basic rights to be able to live and speak and have an economic environment they can survive in, a political environment where they can share their opinions, but that is not the way they live. They live under deep oppression. And because they wanted to live like many of us get to live outside Syria, they were unfortunately oppressed even more, this time with bombardment, bombs, torture, killings, and imprisonment. And the Russian regime is now complicit with that in a very heavy way. And we also know, of course, the Iranian regime just as much. We were hoping to get to talk to Nour today, the media activist who has proof and stories about seeing Iranian mercenaries and Iranian airplanes and helicopters in the skies, basically contributing to this bombardment and to the siege that the area of Eastern Ghouta is having to go through. Very upsetting, very sad. Let's not forget also that although this is happening in Ghouta, Idlib in Syria is also going through a similar fate, and many other areas in Syria. Unfortunately, there's so much criminality going on that it is simply too much to share in one session. And we are seeing that our friends are still not able to join us this morning. A very sad situation when you cannot even bring the voices of those people to the rest of the world. So I think we'll go ahead and take a break. Hopefully at some point, we will be able to bring them to you to get them to tell us what is going on, and we hope that they are safe. Thank you.